Hello everyone and welcome to Jesse's Aquarium. My name is Jesse and I'm back with another video on different salts that you can use in your aquarium. The salt that I have right here in front of you is Instant Ocean synthetic salt that I use. I've been using this one for quite some time and I haven't had any issues with it. It's been a good quality synthetic salt. And with this salt, the consistency of the salt, it's pretty much a very fine powder. This salt right here, it doesn't really clump up when you add it to the water that you're using. Once you add it into it, it pretty much starts dissolving on contact. So there's not a lot of heavy mixing for a long period of time. So you know, I love it because of that one composition that it does have. And you know, like I said, the quality is very, very good. Even though it's synthetic salt, it's a very good salt. Now this salt right here, it does not have any nitrates or phosphates, so you don't have to worry about having those high levels in your aquarium with this salt. One thing about this salt, it does have trace elements in it, which is a good thing. It doesn't have any calcium or magnesium within inside of the mixture, but it is a good quality salt. Pretty much with this salt right here, you want to make sure that you have, you know, some purified water or any water that has had any chlorinated or chlorination added to it to dechlorinize the water from chlorine and chloramines. And then you also, you know, want to make sure you mix this according to the manufacturer's specific instructions. This salt right here, you can mix it to have 5 gallons. Pretty much what you would do is mix, you know, 1.5 pounds of this salt with 5 gallons of water. And with their instructions, it says that you get a specific gravity of about 0.022, and that's at 77 degrees. And me personally, I like to have mine a little higher than that. I try to keep mine at least at 0.023 or 0.025, somewhere within that range. And that's, you know, specific gravity works well in my aquarium. Pretty much how this thing works is that, you know, like I said, you make sure you have your purified or your chlorinated water that you want to use. Add the amount that you need for your aquarium level, that's where you like to have your specific gravity at. And then once, you know, it's all mixed, the mixture is already dissolved of the synthetic salts in your water, you want to test the water to make sure the gravity is where you need it to be at. And how you do that is with a refractometer. Pretty much what this does is that it uses light to tell you what the specific gravity is. It has inside a little scale that goes according to the specific gravity that you were looking for. And what you do is you take some of the water that you've already mixed, you know, with the salt, add a little bit of water with the pipette onto the lens, cover the cap back down, and then you want to, you know, find a light source and look through this to see exactly what the scale is reading as far as the amount of specific gravity that you have already mixed with the salt in your water. Like I said, I like to have mine around 0.024 or 0.025. And once you have that, then what you can do is let the water equilibrize, or, you know, let it maturate for 24 hours. And what I do is that I put a heater inside the container along with the power head inside the water and let that mixture just sit there and aerate and get to the right equilibrium, you know, for at least 24 hours. And make sure the heat, or make sure the temperature, is at, you know, 77 or 78 degrees. And once we're there, then you can use the batch of made salt water into your tank. Now this brand right here, it doesn't have any calcium or magnesium added to the mix. This one here, you'd have to dose those separately. But they do sell another brand of Instant Ocean, which is Reef Crystals, that has the calcium and magnesium already added to it for you. So it takes a lot of the guesswork out of it, and it will make sure that it is an equal balanced mixture for you when you're ready to add it to your aquarium. One thing about this salt right here, like I said, it's tried and true for me. I love it. I've been using it for a while. When you're using these salts, you want to make sure that you keep the lid on very tight, because you don't want to get any moisture into them, and then they start to get clump up real very bad on you. And they last indefinitely, as far as salts go, because salt doesn't dissolve, the water evaporates, but the salt doesn't at all. I'm sorry, I said that incorrectly, but the salts always stay. Even after you add them to your aquarium and you see salt creep that's hanging around on your tank, that's because the salts are still there. They don't go anywhere. It's just that the water evaporates, so the salt stays around. Let me know what you think and what type of salts you might use. There are a lot of good ones out there on the market. I know that there's ones called H&W salt, and you also have different ones that's Coral Reef by Red Sea. They make one called Coral Pro salts, which is a pretty good one. That one has a lot of the trace elements and minerals added to it. It also has calcium and magnesium added to it because they're deriving it strictly from the Dead Sea. You also got some other ones out there. Kent Marine, they make a pretty decent salt. So it's all according to preference which one you want to use. There's no one size that you can use. They're all out there, and try which one works best for you in your tank. With that being said, hey, leave in the comments which ones you guys use that works best for you, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and hopefully you come back for another episode of Jess's Aquarium.